Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing what deku was a singer slash idol part 13, 14, forgot which one, sorry. But I did remember exactly where I stopped. Now, first of all, I rehear what I said last time, and I'm sorry if you overheard my breathing and patterns going weird. I don't know how to stop it, so I'm just gonna say sorry, but I'm not gonna fix it. Exactly. I'll try my best, but I'm only human. But anyway, let's get back into it. Now, Zuko finally wakes up and was told to eat his breakfast and meets up with Aizawa. Everybody over at with Aizawa are gonna do the ball throw test. Some of them think they're gonna be way better now since they've been practicing and having a bunch of boost by Zuko until Bakugo throws. And Bakugo is only able to throw 2 more meters more than his last attempt. Everybody is shocked by this, and Aizawa explained what's going on. This is a training camp. Everybody is going to be training their quirk, not their body, their quirk. Usually takes years to practice on this, but we're going to do it in 2 weeks. So you get your butt in gear and start. And we have a montage of everybody practicing everything. But Zuko is up on the mountain with Kota, the one that's in the classroom. I don't know if it's Kota or Koda. So that's why. With him, also Sero, Kaminari, and they have their earplugs in. For Zuko's training, he was told to sing one song that is really heartfelt and emotional, making anybody that ever hears it want to stop using their quirk. Which Zuko can think of one, and when he sing it, if anybody can hear them, they technically get like a harder training regiment while they're training. It sadly affected Jiro, and she can't use her quirk as well as she wanted to. The Pussycats see how much affects everybody when he sings, and she decided not to put her nephew up there with the training. But that day is over. Zuko gets down a little of a raspy voice, but he can still sing. Everybody that was on top of the mountain had to take it off. Complains about had to putting on these earplugs on, and Zuko explained, "Well, if you weren't gonna put it on, I won't get training, and if you heard my voice, you will never feel like you want to train after that session." They asked like what song was he singing, and Zuko said, "Oh, it's just one of my favorite songs. It's not mine, but it's one of my favorite songs." And he left it at that. Now, when it comes to lunch, everybody was sadly informed that they had to make their own meals. Zuko did not know this, so he asked if they have any ingredients, which they do, and it's laid out on the tables, but not fully prepared. And Zuko said, "Okay, do you have any spices?" Because Zuko has something in mind, and he hopes they have the right spices. They show him all the spice they will need, and they were expecting him to make like curry or something, or even a hamburger. Basically a hamburger steak with rice and stuff like that. Now, everybody else in the classroom started to make curry and rice and complain how everything is, and they're surprised that Bakugo was able to cut up very thinly sliced carrots and potatoes and all the stuff he cuts. As they're talking about all this, Zuko over in the corner with one barbecue pit have asked a bunch of questions and asked how long until dinner will be, or what time will dinner be ready. They said this time, but they don't understand why, which Aizawa is doing all of this. The Pussycats are just watching all of this going on. Zuko asked if he could use a huge slab of meat. They provide. Zuko said thank you, and he worked on the spot. I'm going to explain what is he cooking, but I'm not going to say the name. If you can solve it, good for you. So he gets the slab of meat, put in a particular amount of spices with sauces, and rub it onto the meat. He wrapped it up with foil paper and put it into the fire. Well, on top of it. After it was smoking a bit, he thought it was ready, so he closed it up and had one exit point for the smoke and left it at that. And he put some signs around saying do not touch, do not move on this very property. And he made it look official where no a kid would touch it or even the adults. Suku left it alone and went on having dinner or having lunch with the classroom. They were asking why Zuko was doing and didn't help with anything, and Zuko just said I was just cleaning my voice to numb the pain. Which Jiro said, "Oh, really?" And she just sits right next to him and talk softly to him, which made some of the guys jealous, and some of the girls wished they had something like that. Which Ida kind of finally remembers, me too, I finally remember, to actually sit right next to Uraraka and do the same thing, which Uraraka greatly appreciates the gesture and went along with her meal. Until a little unexpected happened. Zuko said to Jiro with a spoonful of curry, asked her to say ah. Now the girls really wish they had someone to do that with. And just like that, she blushingly say ah and took a spoonful. She chewed, swallowed, kind of chuckled at this, and Zuko chuckled along. And she did the same thing to him, doing this back and forth to a point where both of their plates are done. And it was the sweetest thing to see. Now, the girls are just wishing they had someone to do that with. And Uraraka, Ida was a fast eater, and he finished up his plate and was trying to move. He didn't see the whole thing. Uraraka looked over to him. He felt the glare, but didn't know where, so he looked right, left, down, and he saw Uraraka. Asked her what's going on, and she said nothing and went back to eating, very grumpy light. Now moving on for the practice. Zuko feels like it's good and all, and it's mostly helping out his friends for them to avoid his voice, but it's not really feeling right. He's not really training his quirk as much as he wants to. So after this moment, he went off and asked Aizawa if he could do something else with his training. They said like working on your power output or fighting style, and Zuko said no, I already got that from Gran Torino. I think I just can do more. Can I look up the book and like in my free time, of course? And Aizawa said sure, just don't do it, don't overdo it. Zuko thanks him, and for that period of time he learns more about his quirk and the music, or better yet, frequency. HZ, as you can say. But Zuko will leave it at that. He was notified that dinner is ready, and it was 6 or 5. I think regular people have it at 5. Sorry, my family, we are, I think, weird. We do it either at 6 or 8. And it really doesn't matter. Put it down in the comments, like what time you guys eat at dinner for dinner. On the worst time and, well, normal time for you guys. Now, with that little thing, I'll move it to the side. Zuko finally gets down from where he was at, studying up, and see his friends making curry again. And everybody was already tired of it for one day. It was one day, and they got tired of it because they had to make it all from scratch again because they ate everything in lunch. Now everybody look over to Zuko and ask him if he's gonna help this time or gonna go work on his voice. Zuko said no. I'm gonna work on mine. They say, what are you making? Are you gonna make like yours sweeter or spicier? Like they look over to Bakugo saying spicier. As if on cue, Bakugo put in pounds of jalapenos spices in his curry. They immediately look away and Bakugo said, what? Zuko said, no, it's nothing like that. But I do think it'll be... I never given it to others. Huh? I don't know if you guys will like it. Eh. Hopefully it does. As he walks over to the grill, which was covered in a bunch of plastic paper saying keep out, keep out. And they all tried to tell him to stay away from that. The teachers left it there for a reason. And Zuko said, oh, sorry, it wasn't them, it was me. I didn't want anybody to touch it. It would mess up the process. Which they asked, what did, okay. Because they are so tired, they don't want to argue as much. So Zuko proceeded to open up the grill. And a bunch of smoke came out. And then everybody in the classroom can smell it. It smells juicy. Make them kind of drink their own saliva because it was so good. Their stomach started to growl, and they asked if they could have some. And Zuko said, sure, I'll give you like 1 or 2 ribs. They asked, as they were getting the plates, asking if they could eat it now, and Zuko said, no, let's wait until everybody has some. I want to see your faces. And they sadly had to say yes, because it is Zuko's food. By this time, everybody's curry was already done, and they have a plate of that, making sure that they have something else to eat if this was really bad. Jiro was the last one, and then Zuko. And Zuko asked if the teachers would like to have some. They will get 3 pieces, and the rest will curry. So they all sat down and asked Zuko, and Zuko gave them the honors to finally take a bite. They asked, how do you eat this thing? As one of them hold the bone and just slightly wiggle it, and the meat flopped on the plate, and the bone is still there. Some of them think, is that supposed to happen? And Zuko said, yes, that's supposed to happen. You can eat it like this. He's making a hand movement holding both ends of the rib and bite into it, or this, like a chicken leg, or taking the whole thing off and eating it. Zuko now asking everybody to dig in. And the moment they bite into it, they taste all the spices. It's a little burnt, but to their knowledge. Oh shit. Okay, let me explain. Outside it's raining. A thunder came down, and everything in my house just turned off. It is back on, and that was a little scary for me. So, sorry about that, and it's gonna be for adults and older. Sorry, but I said a bad word, and I don't want to get in trouble. With that said, let's get back into it. God damn it. Alright. God damn it. Can't stop smiling. I got scared of lightning. I can't. Okay, here we go. They took a bite of it, and a little did they know, it's supposed to be a little burnt on the outside for it to be fully cooked all around. The meat just, they, right when they bit into it, they went right through the meat, and getting some of it stuck on their teeth, but enjoying every big piece of it. And there was some sauce right next to it. Zuko put it on the side of everybody's plate because he knew, well, he had a feeling that everybody would like it. And everybody, I mean everybody, really enjoyed it. Even Bakugo, that likes spicy things. Satoru, that likes sweet things because of his quirk, sugar. Really liked how savory, sweet, and spicy it is all at once. Well, they finish it up so fast that they don't remember eating the second one. And they ask if there was any more, and Suku said sorry, but that's all. I think, and he did share it with the class B students. They already came up, see how terrible their workout was, but had lunch. And when they had dinner, they had a chance to taste Zuko's ribs. 2 for everybody, of course, and the teachers 3. Zuko said this was meant for the main dish-ish, kind of. They were supposed to have other stuff, as he explained. But now everybody had to look at their curry and sadly eat it, and saying how bitter it tastes, how everything they would, if they were in a restaurant, they would put this very plate right back out and asking for a refund, which some of them laughed, and Zuko kind of just happy about all of this, that he first time cooking it without his friends in America, and he just kind of make him frown a bit. Jiro finally asking, how did you know how to make this thing? Where did you learn it? And Zuko said, oh, my time over America. I lived over in this town, which they were known for smoking meat. And that's what I did. I used a smoking technique with some of the ingredients here, with some knowledge from home, and yeah. I didn't think it would be that good, but it was my first time doing it by myself. Which he's trying to brag, and everybody knows he's bragging, but they can't say nothing about it because that was the best thing they had. And now the guys, when they're finished with their food, was told they're getting a break. That was enough training for them, and they have some moment of time to take a break. Zuko was about to leave with Jiro and just hang out for a bit, but the guys asked him with more details on how to make that, for they can make it as well. And Zuko does. He showed a video on how his family over in the... He kind of like sniffed a little bit more, like he was about to cry. They were asking, is he okay, dude? And he replied saying, no, it's just... It's been a while since I called them. I should really call them again. They asked, who? And Suku explained, my old bandmates or friends. They were older than me, but I saw them all as my friends. And sometimes family, since I've seen their family. But anyway, let's get back on how it's made. As he went back and started with more details on how to cook up ribs, steak, almost everything on how Texas does it. I know there's others, but I live in Texas, and I have a lot of pride for Texas food. If you have a problem, sorry. Bless your heart. Sorry, I just want to say that. But let's get back into it. After that moment, they finally leave, and well, they were so tired from their training and the food and how filling it was, especially the ribs, that they decided to hit the sack and go to sleep early. Now, when the last one fell asleep, Zuko woke up from his little nap and studied more about his quirk and this one certain phrase, hurts, and thinking if he could do something like that. And he was given a knock from his, room because he was holding up the information on a book or on the phone. Either or, doesn't really matter. And he sees Kota with his uh, nanny, no, auntie, her aunt, his aunt, and she asks if he could watch him for a bit as she goes and take a bath. And Zuko said, "Of course, it's no problem. Come in, Kota." As he come in, very nervously, and this time has a bunch of other stuff that he wants. And Zuko said, "Is that for me?" Or, and Kota said, "Yeah." He just still shakily gave Zuko a marker and asked him if he could sign all of this, which Zuko is very happy about, and asks for Kota to sit right in front of him, which Zuko tells him is just be normal. Think of me as one of your friends, right? You have friends, kid, right? And Kota said yes, and said good, a smile. But he write everything up, signed it all, gave it to Kota, and Kota asked what he's doing, which Zuko said, "Oh, I'm working on my quirk." Kota doesn't really like that he's working on it for being a hero, and he actually asked with an open question, "Oh, why do you want to be a hero so much?" And Zuko said, "Oh," as he still looks over in his information, not looking away, said, "Oh, something that my mother really liked me to do. She always told me to follow my dreams." And he looks up to him and said, "And I intend to keep it. I can be anything," as she said. "I can be even the stars." And he kind of chuckles about this and said, "But they were, she was, never mind." So how is your family? As Kota was Zuko, he doesn't know, and I don't think I said it. No, I don't think she said it. He never had oh wait, did he? No, he never had it. So Kota actually explained that his mom and dad died, and it does makes Kota cry. He tears up every time he had to say it. And Zuko said, "Oh, I see. I guess I'll share my story since you told me yours." Kota only said that his parents died from a villain attack. Zuko explained that his mother also died like that. He also tells Kota that he awakened his quirk at that moment that he knows that his mother, he saw his mother die. It was really sad. He explained it was really sad for him to see all this. And he asked Kota if he saw his parents die in front of him, which Kota said no, but he saw it over on the TV. Zuko said, "Oh, right, but you still feel it, right? You feel scared?" And Kota said yes. He nods his head up and down. Zuko asked more questions, saying more of the emotion that they feel when somebody dies. I don't know how that would feel. I can guess it, but I have no real idea. Not bragging, but it's for the story. Sorry. After that moment, Zuko and Kota have a moment of silence. But Zuko asks Kota if you would like to help me with a song. And Kota would actually want to do it. Zuko put his phone away. I'm just going to say phone, it's way better. Put his phone away and shows Kota how exactly he started up a song. He put himself in a mindset of any sort that he wants to do a song. Usually they're very happy, but right now they're kind of sad. And Zuko explained this to Kota. Even if he's a kid, he will understand this. And Zuko just tells him to write down everything that you feel right now on the paper, which Kota does, and Zuko actually do as well. After that, he reads it his out loud, and Kota does the same. And Zuko explained, now, this is where it gets tricky. We're gonna take away the words that make sense and making the whole page make sense. And yes, he is teaching Kota how to write songs, even if it's just a little bit, or even rhyming with some things. And Zuko said, okay, but look at the time. It's really time for us to go to sleep. Where's your auntie? And Kota said, I think she went back to sleep. Zuko said, okay. I guess you can sleep in my room. As Kota kind of nods, get yawning, and goes to sleep on Zuko's bed, as Zuko sleep right next to him. When Zuko finally wakes up, he wakes up early, stretched out all of his joints, and went right back to training. The first half of from 6 a.m. till 12, he did the same thing he was told to do. But for lunch, everybody was asking if Zuko could make that thing again. And Zuko looked over to the teachers and asked if they have enough for 2 weeks, because it looked like everybody wants some. And they said, no, we do not have enough. We did order more, and they were kind of thinking of the holy grail of that food, of that taste, and said, well, once, let's, and this on Tuesday, so can you make it tomorrow? And Zuko said, sure. And they made a deal with Zuko and the classroom for them to work harder and being taught how to make it with Zuko, that Zuko had to be making it on Wednesday, Friday. The weekend, nobody's going to be making any food, but they'll still be training. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Zuko agrees to that, and the classroom sadly had to agree to it as well. So they went back to work making the food, and Zuko just put in the special spice that he put in his, when he's cooking, he put a special spice, mixture of all spices into one, and just put that in every single food that he makes or add on to. When they eat up their curry, they can taste the aftertaste of the rib, and they fully dig in. The teachers don't understand why, but they said as they were walking and everybody was finishing up, they said that tastes almost the aftertaste. Who put that in? And Zuko said, "Oh, that was my special ingredient. I can put it on anything." So we don't really have to focus on the rib for the taste of the rib. They're just so happy that they have a chance to do this. And on the second half, from 12 to 6, Zuko was working on adding on or stopping it and focusing his quirk on that one frequency, that one moment to break his quirk. as you can say. Man, I really don't know why I can do this. How? After that training, he went back down, and it was dinner time. Everybody ate.